How's it going, guys? We're back with war number 3 for season 45. This is DSVG versus TCN, and the team we're rolling with is Valkyrie, Odin, and Hulkling. This is a great team for Path 8, which is what we'll be running this war. We'll be taking all 4 fights on the path, and we'll also be taking 1 mini. And first up, we have this Dani Moonstar on node number 8. We're going to be using Hulkling for this. It's a pretty simple fight, but there are some things to watch out for, so we're going to go ahead and get in and out as quickly as possible with an advanced power boost and cosmic boosts. The thing with Dani Moonstar is she will falter you if you hit her block while she has an illusion. She gains these illusions every 10 hits in the combo meter, whether that's yours or hers. So our main goal here is just to make sure that we keep our combo pretty low and that we can gain a special 2 well before we hit that combo of 10. So you'll notice here I get my first special 2 at a combo of 4. I did this by stalling and making sure that I had enough charges, enough shapeshift charges. So every single hit or blocked hit or parry is going to give me a buff, so that way I had power for it. And there you see we just finished that with our second special 2, all while keeping that the combo meter low and making sure we did not hit her block while she had an illusion active. And next on the path, we have this Absorbing Man on node 17. We're going to use Valkyrie for this. And I've actually used Valkyrie quite a bit for Absorbing Man. She does work pretty well, mainly because since you're focusing on hitting block, you're basically giving the opponent a lot less power than they typically would receive. So with less power comes less specials. So basically, he's not going to be refreshing those forms as quickly, so he's not going to be refining them. He's also going to have those forms kind of burning out a little quicker, so you actually have some moments and windows where you're actually hitting him while he's in human form, or Carl form, however you want to say it. So that's actually really cool. Now, I do end up dancing in this fight a bit more than I would typically like. Mainly because he was staying very, very aggressive, and unfortunately I kept getting rid of my dexterity buff, which was giving him Mystic Dispersion every time because he was staying pretty aggressive, and I kept accidentally hitting him. So that was giving him a lot more power than I would like, so he was throwing specials a lot quicker than I would like. So he was getting that regen, he's getting those forms refined. And another thing too, with him staying as aggressive as he is, he's gaining those fury buffs. And the fury buffs on this node, whenever a champion on this node gains 3 or more buffs, they start gaining fury passives until those buffs fall off. So that isn't overly worryful as long as I don't get hit, but it is Absorbing Man, and things can happen. So basically, I just want to make sure I don't get hit while he has those furies. Otherwise, that could be real bad. But basically, we're going to push him to a special 2 here because that's going to switch him to Magma. And Magma means he has energy resistance. All our hits are physical. So that allowed us to do that big special 2 into his block, and that is all she wrote. So yeah, a little bit of dancing in the beginning, but it ended up working out. We just kind of stuck to it, built our buffs up, and then we just laid into him after that. And as for the third fight on the path, we have this Quicksilver on node 26. We're going to be using the same strategy that we used for Dani Moonstar with Hulkling again, power start 1s and cosmic boosts, and we're going to start this fight off with a parry, a light whip to trigger the evade, and then we're just going to kind of slow play, do slow combos to make sure that every time we hit him, we are converting one of those charges into a buff and gaining power. Here, we're going to go ahead and get him to block. We're going to throw these hits into his block so we can get the unblockable buff. I unfortunately didn't make sure I had enough charges before I started that, so my special 2 wasn't fully unblockable from the start. We ended up getting parried there because I just mistimed my hit, but it really didn't matter too much. Hulkling is such a beast, and Ascended Hulkling really doesn't care for those hands on Quicksilver, so it's all good. A little sloppy, but all good. And for the final fight on path number 8, we have this node 35 Hulkling. We're going to be using Valkyrie for this, and we do have the Odin pre-fights available, so we're going to go ahead and throw all 3 on our Valkyrie for it. and that's going to give us plenty of buffs to counter Rich Get Richer and make sure that we're always gaining that power. I do end up starting this fight out pretty bad though and allow Hulkling to kind of corner me. Here he ends up taking some of my invulnerability boost away. I end up throwing the special one just to kind of Hail Mary it and get us pushed out of the wall. And now it's just kind of a battle of just getting this fight more under control than what it currently is. You can see we're gaining that power pretty quickly. Unfortunately, we do end up gaining enough power to get to a special 3 here. That's obviously not what we want with Valkyrie. We want special 2s. But the cool thing about her special 3 is it actually pushes the opponent back to the other wall. So this is actually a saving grace in some senses because it's actually giving us that refresh that we needed. So now we're going to get back to our focus. We're going to get those buffs up so we can throw those big special 2s into block and hopefully get out of this fight pretty quickly. And here we gain enough power for a special 2, but you'll notice that Hulkling has an indestructible buff up, so we want to hold on to that just for a second. We're going to dive in now. We're going to do a short combo, pause, and then throw our special 2 into Hulkling's block. This is actually a trick that I picked up while using Valkyrie, that if you do a combo, you pause or hesitate in between that combo and your special, it usually gives the opponent just enough time to block your special. So if you give them that opportunity, they usually take it. And Hulkling goes down. So wasn't the best start, but you know, we stuck with it, and to be honest, the end result really wasn't as bad as it looked like there for a second, so we're happy with it. And last but not least, we have the final fight of my war. That's Jessica Jones on node 45. That's the Hazard Shift, Bleed, Shock, and Conflictor mini-boss. And we're going to be using Valkyrie for this. We do have the Odin pre-fights. We do have the White Mag pre-fight as well. So we are sitting pretty. We do have the shock resistance. We have the passive stuns from White Mags. So we don't have to worry about Conflictor. We don't have to worry about the shock debuffs from Hazard Shift. And we also don't have to worry about the Unstoppable from Jessica Jones because we're Valkyrie. We just need 1 Pierce buff and we're good to go. I actually did take this fight earlier this season against Thor Loki. That one was an Ascended Jessica Jones on the same node, and it went really, really well. So basically, we're just going to replicate the exact same strategy that we used there. We have the Odin pre-fights, we have the White Mags pre-fight, and with all those precautions in place, there's honestly not much that can go wrong. All we have to do is do our job, and we should come out of this fight pretty clean. And we finally have enough power here to throw our special 2 and block. We unfortunately only had 3 Pierce buffs and 1 Bulwark buff active, so the damage wasn't too crazy. But with that Fury passive, we're still hitting really, really hard into the block, even after the special. And you can see that we're ticking down Jessica Jones fairly quickly now, and this fight really doesn't have much longer. And with that, my war is now over. So it wasn't the cleanest of wars, and there's definitely some room for improvement, but all in all, we did finish most of our fights with full or close to full health, so there's not really too much we could be mad about. There's just some slight things we need to do better next time. Unfortunately, we did end up losing to TCN, making it our 3rd straight loss of the season, and it was a pretty gutting loss at that. We ended the war with a score of 4-5, which kind of sucks, but TCN played really well, and to be honest, so did we. We just obviously didn't play well enough to beat TCN. Anyways, that's enough for me. I just want to go ahead and say thank you to everyone that's been viewing my videos. Y'all really don't know how much I appreciate you guys. And hopefully you guys are enjoying watching the videos just as much as I am making them. And if you are, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep doing this thing. Thank you guys. Rage out.